Hi, I'm Matthew Wheeler, and I'm here to talk to you today about photography and weddings, and it's just a basic one-on-one rundown of what you need and everything that's going to make you turn from the bystander that's at their wedding snapping photos to a real professional or someone that's delivering to their clients a really good photo. Have you ever looked through professional photos from weddings and magazines and wedding books and really wondered, like, how can I take my photography and step it up to match their results? It's really not that hard, and I'm really going to talk to you today about how to make it easy in wedding photography. I will walk you through everything you need to bring you and your photography to the next level, and how to turn yourself from that bystander, that friend, to a real professional wedding photographer. I've been shooting for about 10 years now, and I've done everything from sports photography to about 25 weddings, and I've really turned it into my passion into a business, and I really enjoy doing photography and just traveling and meeting new people, and I think everybody should be able to share that same dream and create a business out of it like I have. I'm going to make sure to give you the ins and outs and everything from my experience to help you become a better wedding photographer. The key to photographing weddings all boils down to your ability to pre-plan your photographs, the equipment you bring, and how you post-process your pictures. Behind me is a couple of examples of photographs I've done in weddings and around the world. It's not all of my photos. I've got gigabytes upon gigabytes of photographs, but I just wanted to give you a slight example of them. When you book your first wedding, you got to start planning right away. I just usually get a notepad and write down all the shots that I want. I also gather information like how many people are going to be there, what time of day it's going to be, everything from what family members they want to focus in the photographs and which ones they maybe don't care about. It's all good information to help you deliver to the bride and groom what they really want to see in their wedding photography. I also use Google image search of the venue, because usually brides search their venues through Google and their images, and you're going to see what photographs were taken at that venue, and you can really apply your photographs to the ones that you saw at that venue, and really make the bride happy because she can see herself in those photos that she fell in love with when she booked the place. So it's always really good to use the Google image search and just look for wedding photography ideas that way. I also bring my cell phone with me to the event, and I'll flip through Pinterest. It's a mobile app, and they'll have a lot of wedding photographs and original stuff that you can use and incorporate into your photos to really be cutting edge and give your client exactly what they want. And after you get through your planning phase, that's when you arrive at the event, so you got to make sure you have the right gear. When you pick your gear, it's not always about most expensive, but you do need some basic stuff. You need a camera. I choose to go over 12 megapixels so you can blow up the photos for the bride, and that's kind of important to me. So I get something that performs well in low light, and for me it was Pentax, but I've used Canon and Nikon and all the other too, but this one's really good for wedding photos and I really like it. You're going to want to have a zoom lens to walk around for the reception, and for the ceremony you want to be able to zoom in and zoom out. I use 28 to 70, and that really covers the range of motion between me and the party. And I always bring backup lenses. It's always good to spend your money on your lenses. You should have a portrait lens for your poses with the bride and groom. Tripods are really, really important for crisp and non-blurry photos. I use a monopod and a tripod. Flash. You're always going to be in low light in a wedding. You're going to be indoors, you're going to be at night, you're going to be in party rooms. I bring backup flashes with diffusers to make the skin tones look more real. It's always important to have a lot of flashes. Make sure they work. Make sure you have backups. Make sure you have comfortable gear. You want comfortable straps because you're going to be on your feet the whole time. Just really pay attention and plan beforehand. It's all about planning beforehand. And there's also a lot of YouTube videos that will show you exactly what you need. Or you can pick up these great digital photography books from Scott Kelby. He talks a lot about weddings and how to focus on the bride, how to not tilt your lens for sharper photos, and how to always follow the bride, because that's really who your client is, and you always want to follow your client. Other than that, once you have all your gear, you've done the wedding, you've planned, you've listened to your notes, you've shot your flash photography, shot your portraits, then it's time for post-processing your photos, and that's always the hardest part of wedding photography. I usually triple or quadruple the amount of time post-processing all of the photos from the wedding, and then I took shooting, and it's just really a long, drawn-out process. I touch every photo I shot to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything, and I really want to deliver to the bride and groom 300 or 400 or even more photos that I went through. And you're going to want to adjust the white balance to make the skin tones look more real. You're going to want to crop out other people or crop out other things in the photos that just really don't make it look nice. Or maybe if you're off-centered, you can center it out using the thirds rule, and you'll learn about that in the books. It's really about post-processing. You can turn photos black and white. You can turn them red and white to add emotion. And it's always really important to stay cutting edge. And post-processing is always the hardest part. It's always the most drawn-out part. But it's really important to sit there and look at all your photos and adjust them. You can use Adobe Photoshop. You can use free programs like GIMP. That's what I use. And it's just really good to just take a look at your work and adjust it. You can make it look a lot more professional over those programs that they offer online and on your computer. In conclusion, you must always be prepared beforehand. Like I said, preparation is key for the best results. Many of you are already heading in the right direction for listening to this speech, and it's good that you're already preparing. Take time to stand out from the hundreds of people that post on Craigslist and say they're professionals. Just do your research and work your hardest on sharp photos. And that's going to be using the right gear, using your tripods, and doing your research beforehand, and just planning everything out. Remember always that photography is a passion, and I always lean on this quote from Ansel Adams that you don't make a photograph just with a camera. You bring to the act of photography all the pictures you have seen in your lifetime, the books you have read, the music you have heard, and the people you have loved. And that's really important, to just keep it a passion and always do good. Okay, thank you for listening to my speech about wedding photography.